So guys, a very good morning to all of you. So today's session, we are going to talk about the Jira tool. Okay, my name is Sangeeta, guys. So this would be more like an awareness session where we will explain or we will learn more towards what is Agile and what is a Jira tool. Now, so generally when I take a session, guys, I start from the scratch. So guys, before I get into the Jira tool, I would definitely want to explain you what do you mean by the where did this even come into existence, where will we use it, and so on and so forth. Okay, so let me share my screen. Yeah, okay. So guys, basically first Jira tool is actually used in Agile methodology. Okay, I'm sure we all know that we have multiple SDLC methodologies, and one of the SDLC methodology is called as Agile. Okay, so guys, in Agile we have various
using Agile methodology and SDLC methodology.
By mute everyone.
Ma'am, please mute it.
Guys, anybody has a question, please unmute. Otherwise, please do not unmute and discuss among yourself, because it's going to disturb others as well. If you have a question, only then unmute, or else Shivam, please unmute yourself, and Dheeraj, please mute yourself as well. If you have a question, only then you unmute, please. Okay. Yeah. So guys, as I mentioned earlier, under Agile, you have multiple frameworks. Okay. And what are those frameworks? We have Scrum, we have Kanban, and we have extreme programming. It is also called as extreme programming. Okay. So why am I explaining this is Jira tool is actually used even for Scrum and even for Kanban. So tomorrow when your organizations are using Jira for Kanban, do not get surprised, guys. The reason being Jira will also support Scrum and Kanban. Okay. Now, if you talk about Jira explanation, first let's understand certain basic terminologies that you will use under Scrum. So point number one, the first thing you will have to understand is a project. Now, what do you mean by a project? Guys, for our session, we will take an example of Swiggy. Okay, Swiggy fast food. So we all know that Swiggy is an online food delivery app where the customer can order the food and the food will be delivered. So in our scenario, this is a fast food application. So I'm going to work on an application, and that application's name is called as Swiggy. Okay, that is called as a project. Now guys, when I'm talking about Scrum, what you have to really understand is, unlike waterfall, in Scrum, we break the project into workable features, because in waterfall, we had multiple documents, multiple phases and multiple stages, and those stages were very, very rigid in nature, right? Very rigid in nature. But in Agile and Scrum, you do not have any rigid phases. So having said that, once you create one project, we will have to break down the complete big project into workable features. Okay, these workable features are called as epics. So guys, what is an epic? Epic is a big chunk of work, or a big chunk of feature where your team will sit and work, guys. Okay, in our scenario, what can be an epic? Payment can be an epic.
Ma'am, can you please once again tell me about epic? Once again, please.
Epic is a big chunk of work. So if you look at this, my screen here, payment is one epic, like huge. It has huge number of user stories in it. Okay, a big chunk of work. Like for example, see, payment, registration, login. I'll give you an example. Under payment, take example of Swiggy. When talking about payment, what kind of payments can Swiggy accept?
Cash,
Card,
debit card,
Card, wallet, UPI, and so on and so forth. You agree? For
Yes.
registration, restaurant owner registration is there, delivery boy registration is there, customer registration is there, admin registration is there. Probably you can talk about a manager's registration. So basically, I'm going to create multiple registrations, right? So I have already muted everyone, so don't worry, there will be no disturbance. Okay. Yeah. Again, login, same thing. You will have, once you create a registration, they all will log in, guys. Okay. So please understand, what I'm talking about is this big chunk of work. So these are called as the features of your application. So as a team, our job is to work on these features. Any questions, any doubts? So the client, whenever he comes to you guys, what he'll do is he'll first say, guys, I want you to create one Swiggy application, and he will list down all these features to you, and you call them as epics. Now, as a business analyst or a Scrum team member, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to prioritize these requirements. Prioritize these requirements. This is out of Jira, guys. This is not included in Jira, but I'm just telling you for the explanation. So we will prioritize these features or these requirements, and then when we are prioritizing, we would use Moscow and we would use MPP. Okay, using these techniques, we will categorize these requirements and put them in the right importance order, and accordingly we will start working.
Hello.
Any questions?
Yeah, ma'am. You have given example of
Your voice is breaking.
yeah, you have given example of Epic. So first time my Epic doubt is cleared. Fine with examples. So also just wanted to know if you can define any example for back.
We haven't come there yet. Just give me some time, I'll tell you.
Ma'am, once
One by
again,
one.
can you please explain Epic once again, just once again?
It is there here, sir. If you, Epic is nothing but a big chunk. I've written it very clearly. See here. It's a very big one. I have also given you examples here. See. Talk about Swiggy. What you
So
see
it-
here are all epics. Big chunk.
Okay.
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 Remember, project isn't broken down into chunks, broken down into epics, correct?
Well, yes. Project
Ma'am,
is
like
broken.
registration is one epic and what
Payment,
customer,
login, all the epics.
yeah, they are payment login, they are epics, and cash card, they are user stories.
Yes.
Okay.
So guys, now one very important note. See, guys, we'll do one thing. Let me clear one topic, and after that I'll give you some time to ask me doubts. Please take a paper and a pen and write down your questions. It will be very easy for me to answer them then, because there are a lot of connecting elements here in this session. Okay, write down in a paper with a paper and a pen. I'll explain it after some time. Okay. So guys, in reality, your Scrum projects are, as I mentioned earlier, are not rigid projects. When I mean not rigid, every company will not follow the same thing, guys. Just like waterfall, every company will have requirement analysis, requirement gathering, so on and so forth. But in Scrum, you don't have that. In Scrum, company to company, project to project, it will vary. On the same note, please understand, epics are optional, guys. Not every company will create epics. They will directly get into the products. They're also called as products. So in our scenario, please understand, another new terminology I want to get here is your products. Now, please remember, not every company will create an epic. Some companies will also create products. These, whatever you see here, can also be called as a product. Okay, so we call this more like a product because they are part of your project. Okay, so please understand, what we have created is a list. You all agree? What we have created is a list, right? So the list, I'm again repeating, the list of products, the list of products to be developed is called as a product backlog. So again repeating, guys, a product backlog is nothing but a list of products. Okay, and or simple words, if you ask me, one minute. A product backlog is nothing but list of features and user stories. Okay, guys, clear? So a product backlog would be a list of all the user stories together, and generally the product backlog is considered to be like one big simple terminology. If you ask me, guys, if you go for a grocery shopping, when you go for grocery shopping, what do? You want to buy everything for your house. You have multiple things that you want to purchase. But before you step into the store, what do? You categorize them into kitchen items, right? Then you talk about your home appliances, right? Probably you talk about your personal hygiene kind of a stuff, right? You talk about, so what I'm doing is you categorize your items, and then it is life gets very easy. So under that, again, you create this A, B, C, D items. You agree? Right? So what are you doing? You're categorizing.
Ma'am,
Now you
ma'am,
have a very
sorry
limited
to-
budget. Guys,
sorry
just
to-
hold on. 1 minute, 1 minute. You have a very limited budget. So what do you generally do? What do you generally do, guys? You make sure you buy the most important ones, and you postpone the less important ones for the next month, right? That is called as prioritization. Clear? Yes. Now you can ask me a question. Go ahead.
Ma'am, product backlog is the thing that amount of work that is left, that is called product backlog, right?
Product burn down.
Okay, burn down. Okay.
You're talking
Okay.
about the product burn down. Guys, any questions, any doubts here?
Yeah, hello, brother. Brother, yeah, this all terminology are of the Scrum, and it is already given in the workbook. So please read the workbook
Okay.
first. And yeah, brother. So if you'll not like, if you'll ask small question, no, the session will long last till evening.
It's okay. Hello. Sorry, sir. Someone has. So here the content, the concept is not just I speak and you listen. If you have doubts, you are more than welcome to ask questions, and it's nothing wrong to ask questions. Okay, because even though it is there in the workbook, some people might have a little difficulty understanding and reading from the work. So it's okay. But what I'm saying is, try to listen to the session, and you have any genuinely something you kind of cannot relate, ask me, no problem. Okay, don't worry.
Ma'am, good morning. Hi.
Very good morning.
Yes, ma'am, I'm unable to attend the class from the very beginning. So because of the technical error. So can you please give me the brief about the Jira
So it
one?
will be a
so
little
that
difficult for me to go give back.
little bit.
The
I'm not telling you the whole one.
I have
little
already,
bit,
yeah, though I spoke about what is Agile. I spoke about what do you mean by a project, what is an epic, what is a product backlog, and then I'm giving them examples. Okay.
Okay.
So guys, so here product backlog, I'm again telling you, is nothing but a bigger list of products. Generally here you have a prioritized products or prioritized features where you will constantly keep cleaning this product backlog. And please understand that this product backlog is we can also refine the product backlog, guys. It is also called as what? Product grooming or product refinement. Please understand, we have product grooming or product refinement. They're called as meetings where the team is constantly keeping on working on product cleaning. They will constantly keep adding the product backlog, and when there are changes, the client will add the user stories to the product backlog only. Will be added to the product backlog. Clear so far, guys? What do you mean by a product backlog? Any questions, anyone? Epic? Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. Related to the example which you have given, grocery kitchen item. Basically,
Yeah.
you are like segregating the requirement into small breakable or workable kind of a thing.
Yes.
What is the thing? Home appliance and personal item. I didn't get this too far.
This is nothing but features. So now you're saying that grocery shopping. Do you only go to grocery only to the store to just buy kitchen items and vegetables?
No. Other items.
You buy everything, right?
Yeah,
when you go to a DMart or a Metro or to any other place, you categorize, you create one list and then go to the store, right?
Yeah.
So that is called as, these are your products and these are called as a product backlog. So this A, B, C, D in simple terminologies are called as user stories, which I'll explain, guys, don't worry. These are called as user stories. and these are called as it can be either an epic or a product.
Ma'am, can you explain product grooming once again?
Product grooming is nothing but prioritizing a product backlog. Prioritizing your product backlog, as I mentioned earlier, if you have a limited budget and you do not want to buy this 20 items this month, what will you do? You will make sure you will buy the most important one this month, and you will put the next one the next month, right? So the prioritization, what you do is called as product grooming. Okay, guys. Now, one very important.
Ma'am, I have one question.
Yeah.
At the end, you said client will only be asking about the product backlog, you said, right?
No, I said change request. Whenever you have a change request, the client will add the stories to the product backlog. You will not directly add it anywhere else. So in Scrum, when we say we accept change request, that means that we will accept the change request and add them to the product backlog. That is what I said. Okay? Yeah. Okay, guys. So once you created a product backlog, then the team will start working on it. Now, once you have this product backlog, guys, I want to explain you about a user story. Now, what do you mean by a user story? Guys, user story plays a very, very, very important role in Scrum. Please understand the way your RTM, the way your BRD is important in your waterfall project. In your Scrum, I'm again repeating, guys, please pay attention here. In your Scrum project, a user story plays a very, 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 very important role, because user story is a description of the task or activity. Whatever you have to develop, whatever you have to construct as a part of the project, that task or activity is called as a user story. So user story is a guys, please mute. So basically a user story is nothing but a small piece of work that can be delivered in a short span of time. Clear this? In a short span of time, whatever you can deliver, as simple as 2 weeks to 4 weeks, whatever you can deliver to the client, that small piece of work is called as a user story. So what does a product backlog consist of, guys?
User stories.
Very good. Thank you so much, ma'am. A product
Set
backlog
of user stories.
consists of user stories. So whenever the team has to work, they will pick the items from the user story, from the product backlog, and only start working on the user story. Now, as I mentioned earlier, here, company to company, project to project, things might change. So a user story elements can also change, guys. Elements of a user story. Now, what do you mean by elements of a user story? Every user story must contain some important pieces. Without that, a user story is not called as a user story. Most importantly, the other person will not understand what is this all about. What should he do? What should she work on? The person will not understand. So the first element of a user story here is called as your value statement or syntax. It's also called a value statement or a syntax, where as a user, I want to, so that I can. Guys, I'm not getting into deep here because I'm sure you have done this. Want to, so that I can, right? So this is how you will write a value statement. The next one would be your BV value. The next one would be your CP value. The next one would be your task. You will have a priority. You will have acceptance criteria. So these play a very, very important role in a user story. Some companies also had a DOR and a DOD. Some companies
Please
also
give
had
the full forms of all this.
Business value. We have this in our material, which is why I'm not getting into it, because complexity points, or they're also called as story points. Acceptance criteria. Definition of ready and definition of done. Okay, guys. So this is nothing but your elements of a user story, guys. These two are undoubtedly optional, guys. Again, repeating. These two are optional, but the other ones are compulsory. Without this, you will not be able to understand. I'll explain this in the Jira tool for now, but for now, just understand these are very, very important. So once we create a user stories, we'll start working on it. Now, when you're talking about these user stories, we have something called as a user story board. Now, what do you mean by a user story board? Basically, user story board is nothing but the user stories that are there in your in this. For example, see here. Every user story board will have work in progress, done and completed. Okay, I will show that in a tool, guys. Don't worry for now. So every user story board will have this. I'll show there. Okay, so guys, now once you have created the user stories, the whole team will put them in the product backlog. Please understand, you're writing the user stories and putting them in the product backlog only. Okay, so there would be a lot of meetings where the team will sit and discuss, are the user stories there, are the user stories completed, is a product backlog ready? If yes, then only we will come to something called as your sprints. Now, what do you mean by a sprint? It is nothing but a time-boxed event. Time-boxed event within which a person is considered to, or the team is considered to complete the user stories. Is considered to complete the user stories. Okay, so every sprint will have user stories. So whatever features you have categorized in the product backlog, you will take that. So sprint 1 will have probably, let's assume, registration. Okay, sprint 2 will have payment and so forth. So you will start working on it, guys. Clear? Just for our understanding. So once you start a sprint, you will have a sprint planning meeting. Okay, then you'll have daily scrum meetings. Then at the end of a sprint, you will have review and retrospective meetings. Clear, guys? Any questions so far with the process? You'll understand this in the Jira also. I'll explain that now in minutes. But is it clear now? The basic concepts of Scrum?
Yes, yes.
Now let's get into the Jira, guys. Okay. Basically, what do you mean by this Jira? So Jira is nothing but an agile tool. I'm again repeating. Jira is an agile tool. It is not a Scrum tool, guys. Jira is an agile tool because Jira can also talk about your Scrum and Kanban. So please remember, Jira is definitely an agile project management tool. Okay, that can definitely support any agile methodology. Okay, so now when we're talking about Jira, earlier Jira was introduced only to handle the bugs. Now what do you mean by a bug? Bug is the problem or an impediment or an issue. Jira was originally created only to identify the bugs and put them in an order. Guys, please remember, I'm again telling here, with Jira, initially it was created only to list down the bugs. You will not work again on the bugs here. It was only to list down the bugs, nothing else. But now Jira is a complete package, complete package of the Agile. Now let's get into the Jira, guys. Jira is an open source. Can anyone say what do you mean by open source?
We can use it to, download it.
Anyone can use it without any license issue anytime.
Most importantly, you do not need to install it into your computer. Don't have to install it. You can just go on Google and start working on it. Guys, can you all see my screen?
We can see the document.
What now?
Yeah, we can see.
So guys, what we'll do is Jira download. So you can go here. You can directly go to this download Jira software.
We have to download that free one.
You can, yes, you can download this. No, not required to install it into your computer. Don't have to waste it. Being Jira is open source. Don't have to really bother about it. Let me just see. I can. Okay. So guys, here you can also go and download the Jira software, but for now we will not have to use it directly. Go with this, guys. Okay, get it free is what you click. So you have two options here: Confluence and Jira Service Management. Jira Service Management is more for the development and ops team. Okay, but here we will go with Confluence, wherein we will document collaborate. Here we are talking about the document collaborate. We will select this. Okay, guys. Now, here when you're talking about the Jira software, you can actually start with your email or with your Google. So you wish you can do it anywhere, guys. For now, I'm taking this my. Okay. I have already created one account, so.
Ma'am, can you please repeat from where you have downloaded?
You go to Google and say Jira download.
And the screen is not familiar then.
Please.
I'm sorry?
If I'm going on Google and going for the download options,
Jira
then the
download
familiar.
will say.
Yeah,
Go to Jira download. That's it.
Ma'am, for practice, we have to use only Atlassian.net, right?
Atlassian is a company which has Jira. Atlassian is your major company which actually supports Jira.
So, ma'am,
Currently,
in
I'm
your
practicing
site,
it
what
on-
you have to write?
See, go to Google. Okay. You go to Jira download, Jira software download. So can you see my screen, guys, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So here, what did I do? I went to Jira software download and select this. I will go to get it free. Do you see this here?
Yes, ma'am.
So I will go to get it free. And then I will go to next. You have to connect using your Google. Clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Ma'am, what I have to write in that second thing, your site?
Where you have to write, just select, create one account.
Oh, we have to create one account.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So guys, if you all see my screen, I'm creating one name here, COEPD 1234. That is nothing but my, it is only talking about my piece of work. That's it. Okay. So you will create one more like a screen where you have with your own name. For me, I have created COEPD 1234 because I've already created earlier. Clear, guys? Shall I go to agree now? Any questions?
No, ma'am, clear.
Done. Chalo, agree.
Yes, yes, clear.
I went to. Okay, guys, it will take a minute to start off. Just let's give a few minutes so that it will upload on the work.
Ma'am, after Confluence, what we have to do?
Go to next. You have a next option, no?
Scroll the screen upside. You will go, scroll the screen upside. You will get the scroll next option.
Go down. You'll have a next option.
Sir, ma'am, who's that, sir? Who is speaking every time?
I do not know his name, sir, because I haven't.
And you only speak. Why is he speaking every
He's just
time?
helping. It's okay, guys. Just trying to help out there. Okay, so guys, can you all see my screen now? So guys, here I am experienced or new to Jira. Guys, you can completely skip this piece because it's only helping us set up your Jira board. If you do not have any data, you can remove it. Okay? My team is experienced. I want to work on features, or you can skip it. Do you see this option to skip? You can skip it as well. Okay, guys, clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, what will I do? I will put a project name here. Like for example, let's assume I say Swiggy. Okay. And it also automatically the key has been created, guys. What is this project? I'm giving a project name. Remember, I said Swiggy food, right? So I'm saying Swiggy and Swig. Guys, if you look here, see, this Kanban is there. I want to
Ma'am, I'm
change
not
the
getting
template.
this
What is
one.
the template?
I'm not getting this one. Directly I'm getting account settings and Atlassian support, like that thing.
Just look at the recording once the session is over, no? Probably where is it going, because it's a very straightforward stages. Okay, guys. So here, if you
in website, what we have to enter while
Jira download.
No, while creating the account.
Use your Google, Gmail or Google, whatever you want.
I used my Gmail account, but in website column, what I have to write?
Write just your name.
Just name.
Yeah.
Create and nothing is required.
Not required.
Okay.
So guys, is anyone working along with me here in the session?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Recommendation is, please do not do that. That would be a bad idea. Listen to what I'm saying. Once the session is over, you can do it. It's a very simple application. Doing it with me might waste a lot of time. Okay, my recommendation is please listen to what I'm saying thoroughly. And then if you have a paper, write it down, and later on you can work it. And you have any questions, I'll leave my number. You can definitely reach out with me, but it's a very, very simple thing. Okay. So you go to Google, you say Jira download. From there, you get into your Gmail account, create your Gmail username, create your website name, and then say next, and you'll come here. Okay. So you will say add project details. Guys, here please understand it is Kanban. So we want Scrum. You agree? So change the template and take Scrum. Use the template. So guys, it's very important to look into it. Make sure you have a Scrum template, but not a Kanban template. And guys, you have a team-based project and a company-managed project. What's the basic difference? Let's assume if your company
if we
is
have
not
already selected
using,
the Kanban, how to change it to Scrum?
Change template. Change template.
Project template.
Guys, are you all following the steps, or are you getting confused? Guys, anyone here?
We are following.
Following, right? Should I go back and explain? Are we good? Shall I go forward?
No, keep moving forward.
Going forward.
Okay, guys. Now, guys, please understand we have a team-based project and a company-managed project. Please remember, a company-managed project is where your whole company is using Jira, wherein we have a Jira admin who will handle the data back in the database. But what is a team-based where only your team is using Jira? So depending on your company requirement, you will select one project type. For now, I will take your team-based project, guys. Okay, so it is a Scrum template and it is team-based. Be very, very careful here. Okay, I will create one project.
Can you just repeat this team-based and company-based? What is the difference?
Company managed is where your whole company is using Jira. But what is team-based is where only your company is using Agile. Your team is using Agile, not the whole company.
Company, this means like, I mean, like it is like many companies are following this. I mean,
your company. Let's assume you work for Google. If your whole Google is not using Jira, you will not select that, right?
Yeah.
Right. You will select team-based because your team is only using Jira. Probably other teams are using Waterfall, Kanban, something else.
Okay.
There you will not select company managed, because if you say company managed, what is going to happen is the whole company admin will be there who will save the data to database. Okay. That all depends on your organization. And guys, one very important thing is when you go work on Jira in your real-time company, guys, you will not do all this. You will directly go to the project board. You will not do all this. It's all done already by the managers or somebody else. And then they'll give you a username and password and you log in. Okay. Only for our explanation, we are doing it. Clear, guys?
Sure.
Yeah. So
Yes,
guys,
ma'am.
all these are your tools that you can connect and you can connect them. All these are Atlas and tools. Okay. He's just advertising about these tools. You can clearly skip. Okay, guys, any questions?
No, ma'am.
Done. Guys, here, if you want to invite your teammates, you will add their email. You know, what is this? Very simple, guys. See, if you want your teammates to connect to Jira and start doing their work, okay, if your whole team is working on Jira and if you want your teammates to invite to your account, then you will invite your teammates, or else it is not required, guys. Okay, clear? So we will let our teammates do it. Again, it is also very, very optional. You can click that. So now we are officially in the board. This is called as your project board. Clear? So far, I'm again repeating, guys. This is called as your project board. This is your project board. How can I do this?
So you said when we joining the company, it will be already done. Means this
Yes,
stage will log in,
directly you
right?
will come here. Directly you will come here.
Okay.
Directly you will come to your board. All that will be done and you won't get it every time. So you will directly come to this board. Are we all clear, guys, how I came here?
Yes.
Ma'am, 1 minute, ma'am.
Yeah.
Like after getting that Slack board and this one's tools, up to skip, right?
So I did not get it. Sorry.
That option is there. Select some tools now. So I have to
You will
skip
skip
that.
it. You will skip it.
Okay.
Okay,
After
guys?
that, that after that done, I don't have to invite anyone, right?
No. You will not invite anybody. You will come to the product.
Hello?
Yeah.
Ma'am, what if we have to change the like what
From
is that we
Kanban
have
to Scrum
actually
template.
Yeah, I have selected Kanban and proceeded.
No. You don't have to select Kanban. You have to select Scrum. You're doing Scrum, not Kanban.
Yeah, but what is the procedure to change it? Like, do we
Change
have to
template.
delete?
Change template. Okay. So guys,
Can you
now
please can you please show it once? Like,
I'm sorry, I've already come to the very forward. Now I won't be able to. I have to again go back and start creating a new project.
okay.
Can I do it here? No, I cannot.
Ma'am, which option you have choose for team-based or company-based?
Team-based.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, guys. So this is your project backlog or a project board. Now, guys, please understand what you see here. These tabs are nothing but your work. What is assigned to me? What are your boards and what are your recent boards you're working on? Guys, please understand, when you're working on Scrum, you will never be working only on one project. You'll be working on multiple projects, and that project details you will see here. So right now I have only one project, which is Swiggy, but in reality you'll have multiple projects. Accordingly, you can change the boards. Okay, and then you have work. What is work assigned to me? What are the recent boards you worked on, and what are the over total number of boards that we have? Okay, in the project or in the organization. If you want to add any filters, who has to view anything, you can put your filters. And if you want to create dashboards, you can also create here also, guys. What's the dashboard? It is nothing but a very interesting, innovative way of looking at your data. That's it. And if you want to invite any people, you can do again here also, and so on and so forth. Clear, guys? So now we have come to the Swiggy. Please, when you're working on your project, please check this data, guys. Is it the right project I am working on, which is Swiggy? Yes, it is. Yes. And is it more towards your Scrum? Yes, it is. So make sure you have all this information. Only then start working on your project. Okay. Now, first one is roadmap. The way we have a Gantt chart in your waterfall project. Now, what is a Gantt chart? The progress report of your project. You all agree? Similarly, here in Scrum also we have a roadmap. What is the roadmap? what are your projects? So we have, look at it, see guys, August month, September, you can do it by weeks, you can do it by months, you can do it by quarters. Just to look at the progress of your project, you're opening the roadmap and you're creating. You can also export this roadmap. You can also share the screen with anybody else. Okay, so however you want, you can categorize. Okay, you want again take to do, in progress, and done. So you're just dividing like this and then creating your roadmap. Clear guys, what is a roadmap? Any questions?
Ma'am, can you please repeat once again? I'm really very
Roadmap,
sorry, but can you please?
roadmap is a progress report. How is your project going? How many user stories have been created? What is happening with your project? Just identifying the progress of your project is done in your roadmap, wherein you can share this progress report, you can export this report, you can break down into weeks, months, and quarters, and so on and so forth. So that is generally done by a Scrum Master, where he or she will, when a client says how much, what is the project status, what is happening, he can directly go to this roadmap and they can show it to the client and the other stakeholders. Okay, guys.
Ma'am, in this roadmap, we have to introduce the details of our project, or it will get
Automatically it will be introduced.
It will
Once
fetch.
you create this board and this backlog, automatically it will come there.
Okay.
Ma'am, this roadmap is almost, I mean, it's similar to Gantt chart.
Yes, it is. It is Gantt chart in your Scrum. Yeah, okay. Okay.
Ma'am, is there any proven dashboard like or any project execution already done that we can see how it look like after the each and every entry?
We don't have any sample ones here because we generally can't share others' works, right? But definitely once the session is over, you can create one and you can only view it yourself. Do it more like a homework. We don't have already made one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, who inputs all the data basically? Do be
Here,
I have to.
No. Again, I told you, right? Generally, your Scrum is not a one-person show. Like waterfall, the way we have rigid phases, right? This BA will do this, project will do that. In Scrum, we don't have any rigid roles. The Scrum team will do this, is what I will say. Not one particular resource. The whole Scrum team will input the user stories. Once it is there, it will automatically pop up in your roadmap. Okay, a BA can do, a Scrum Master can do, a product owner can do, multiple people can do this. Clear? Now, guys, when you're talking about Jira, what you need to understand is, guys, no matter what, here in Jira, everything is called as an issue. Please understand, in Jira, even your user story is also called as an issue. So what do we create? We create issues in Jira. Everything that you create is a user story, is an issue here. You create issues. Okay, guys? So what will I do? I will create issue. So now, say, as a user, as a customer, I want to register to the application so that I can log in. Okay. Again, as a customer, I want to log in so that I can search for food. Okay, again, as a customer, I want to do payment via cash so that I can get the food delivered. As a delivery boy, I want to register so that I can log in as a delivery boy. I want to log in so that I can view the deliveries for the day. Guys, are you able to understand what I'm doing? Right? So what am I creating here, guys? I am
You can
creating
create
a
issues, ma'am. You can
Hello.
create issues.
Uses, ma'am.
I'm creating
So
user
after
story.
creating user story, so once user story is created, then again we have to click on create issues for second user
User
story.
story itself is an issue here in Jira. There is no use.
So we
User
have to
story
click
is
on
only-
create issue.
We have to create issue. Yes, the user story. Unfortunately, here is an issue only because it is the issue tool now before. So guys, I am creating user story. What am I creating here? I'm creating a product backlog. You agree?
Is
I
it in
am
a way
creating
related?
a
Madam, a
product
small doubt
backlog.
here.
Yeah.
Is it in a way similar to use case diagrams?
No. Use case diagram is a pictorial representation of an external user working here. Guys, I am creating a feature here. If you remember RTM, what is RTM? Requirement traceability matrix, where I have a list of requirements there. Remember, that is what I'm creating. A product backlog is an RTM in other simple sense.
Okay.
Okay, guys? No, South.
And backlog here is a list of issues, right? Whatever
List
issues.
of issues. Yes. List of issues.
Okay.
But guys, we can't say this in an interview. Please say backlog is a list of user stories, not issues. Okay.
Yeah.
Here only in your Jira only it is called as an issue, but in talking about an interview perspective, please don't call them an issue. It is a user story.
User story. So basically, ma'am, like after we analyze the requirement or prioritization, this is the stage in the Scrum we do. We create the user stories and all the
You list down the user story. I haven't created completely yet. I just wrote a sentence. I'm only creating a list of user stories.
Okay.
Action items. That's it.
Okay, and this part can be done by any member of the team,
Any
not
member
only
of the
BA.
team. No, yes, any member of the team. Okay, guys. Now, guys, if you look at it, this is SWIG 1. That is nothing but your SWIG is your project and it is saying 1. I can also create an epic, guys. Now, what is an epic? I told you, right? You can say, let's assume your registration is 1. I'll tell you the meaning of it little later. Payment is 2nd. Probably I will say login as third. So I have created 3 important features and I have done. So I have created issues without an epic here. I just randomly wrote it down. I haven't done anything else. Are you all clear now, guys? Now, once you have created...
Ma'am, can you please show from where did you get that epic
here,
call?
do you see this?
Yeah.
I click down and you have to activate this epic panel.
Okay.
So here I will write create epic and you start creating epics.
Okay.
Yeah. Ma'am, one query here. That a backlog issues and epic are same terminology? Or,
no. Backlog is a list of user stories.
It means issues, right?
Issues. Guys, again, do not say issues, guys. Only in Jira we will say it as issue. Please. Don't say issue in real time. Issue is only for Jira. But for an interview perspective, you call it as user story.
Okay.
Even when someone asks you what is it called in Jira, then you say it's an issue, but not in reality. Okay.
Okay. But any epic will contain a lot of backlog.
User stories. Right? User stories.
Okay. Got it. Thanks, ma'am.
Consider your grocery, guys. I gave you an example, no? Grocery list. 1, 2, 3. So that is like that. Okay. Now, guys, I have created one very important point. Remember and note it down, guys. Whenever you want to create a sprint, now what is a sprint? Sprint is a subset of a product backlog. You agree or disagree? Anyone who disagrees? Sprint is a subset of a product backlog. Yes or no?
Yes, subset of product backlog. Yes.
All of you, yes, right?
Yes,
so what am I doing? I'm pulling certain user stories from here and I'm creating one sprint, which I can complete in 2 or 4 weeks. You agree?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Karuna, sorry, please do not make groups to discuss a project, because that would not be very helpful. Okay, guys. So here you will create your product backlog. Now, what will I do? I will create a sprint. Guys, whenever you create a sprint, minimum to minimum 3 user stories must be there. I'm again repeating. If you want to create a sprint even in real time or anywhere, minimum 3 user stories must be there, without which a sprint cannot be created. It's not an advisable thing to create a sprint without 3 user stories. Remember this. Okay, so now what will I do? I will create sprint. Right side, you see this button, guys. Click and create a sprint. Now, what happened? I have went into my sprint. So guys, what happened is, in this, I have around 10 user stories. I will create, I'll put them into sprint. See, sprint 1. Do you see the sprint 1 here? Yes. So now I have to drag and drop the user stories into the sprints. Now what will I do? I will just go here. This is registration, no? I have any registration? Yes. Okay. Again, I will take one more user story. Minimum 3 to boli, right? Clear now, guys? Again, I'll go to the second sprint. Yes. Guys, can anybody tell me what is this called as, what I am creating? So after creating first sprint, we again need to click on create sprint. Sprint backlog. Generally, what happens in reality is, guys, whenever we have a meeting, when you have create a product backlog, the team will not meet repeatedly to do the same activity again and again, because it's a waste of time. Sitting in a meeting is a waste of time instead of working. You all agree? So generally, what does a team do is, they will create 3 or 4 sprints like the way I'm creating. Okay. They will create 2 or 3 sprints like this, and then they will start working on sprint 1. This 2 or 3 sprints that I have constructed here is called as a sprint backlog. I'm again repeating. This is called as a sprint backlog. Now, what is a sprint backlog? Subset of a product backlog, but I am distributing these user stories into sprints. But ma'am, I have one question. So you have created 2 sprints, fine. So, but if first sprint is not completed, we cannot go to the second sprint. If I am correct. Generally, that is advisable. But what in reality happens is, people work parallelly, because instead of wasting time, people will work parallelly. Generally. Okay. Okay. It's advisable not to do it, but they will do parallel. But practically, I'm just asking about practically only they will do it. They will work on parallelly for sure. Okay. Okay. Now, guys.
So sprint backlog is, again, in simple terms, it's the list of sprints.
List of user stories. A sprint backlog is a list of user stories.
Then sprint and sprint backlog, what is the difference?
Sprint backlog is a complete list of sprints. Again, they have user stories only, like sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3, sprint 4.
That is what I meant actually. Sprint backlog is nothing but the sprint 1, 2, 3, the list of sprints.
Yes. List of sprints. Okay, yes, list of sprints. That may take it.
Ma'am, maximum how many user stories we can put in
3,
one?
minimum 3.
And maximum?
Maximum 500, 600 also they'll go.
Okay, thanks.
There is no limit of user stories, right?
Generally, when you're talking about user stories, you have a sprint planning meeting actually. In that sprint planning meeting, the team will sit and discuss on the velocity of the team. The team will talk about how many resources we have. Depending on that, only user stories will put into a sprint. There's a lot of planning that goes inside this sprint. Randomly, you can't throw the user stories here.
So, ma'am, can't we give any heading like sprint 1, sprint 2?
You can definitely, you can change it. You can definitely change it here.
Okay.
You can. Okay, guys. So now I have created a backlog. Now we will start the sprint, guys. Now, see, I have a sprint name. If you want, you can change your sprint name if you want to. Now, Guys, what's very important is the duration. Now here you have either 1 week sprint, 2 week sprint, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and custom. Now if I pick 1 week, see, the start date is today, the end date is grayed out, which means it is automatically taken by Jira. Now if I say custom, you have to manually add the dates here and the time. Clear, guys?
Okay.
Now, what is a sprint goal? What are you trying to achieve? What is your, let's assume I want to, the team has to complete a feature called as registration. And it is again optional, guys. You don't have to literally type it here. It's okay. I'll say start.
And ma'am, who will decide the duration of sprint?
The team, the whole team. In the sprint planning meeting only, the team. Yes, the team.
So who will have the final word, like business analyst?
Nobody.
Or product
It is
owner
not.
team?
No. You cannot have that. It's a whole team decision. It is not like one person will take that authority. Everybody will have to decide because it's the teamwork here in Scrum.
Okay. Okay.
Now, guys, this is called as a sprint board. As I told us earlier, right? This is called as a sprint board where you have in progress and done. And if you want to add one more stage to it saying completed, you can also do that. So this again depending on the team to team, you can
how we can add one more.
You
stage?
have an option split plus here.
Plus. Okay.
We create one column. Guys, now I have a sprint. Now what you want, if you remember in this user story, I did not write anything inside. You agree? So what will I do? I will double click on this and now I can, this is very, guys, can you all see my screen? This one. Yes, you can.
Yes, ma'am.
So now the guys here, I will write information inside this user story.
Ma'am, how you brought this screen? Can you
double
please
click
once again?
here. Double click.
Okay.
Double click on the user story, you'll come here. Okay. So guys, now I can add an epic. I want to add registration. So under registration, I'm getting work on this user story. Now, guys, as a customer, I want to register to the application so that I can log in. Now, if you want to attach any extra documents, guys, please remember here you can attach a use case diagram. You can attach any extra documents, any link, anything you want to attach for understanding or for help. You can do it. So please understand, Agile is called as a no document methodology, but if you really ask me, it is untrue. It is less document methodology, but no document is wrong. You cannot have any project without no documentation. You all agree or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? You will have, but very less. And that is not compulsory. For every user story, there is no rule that you should have a use case diagram or activities. It's only helping the team understand it better. You can attach a process flow diagram. You can attach activity. You can attach any diagram that you want. Okay, you can attach any document also, whatever you want. It can help the developer to develop this feature. Okay, now you can add a child issue. If there is any dependency, like for example, here, if I want to create an application registration, what is the child of this? Login. You agree? Eventually,
here on my system, it is reflecting as create subtask. So it is same, add a child issue or create subtask.
Exactly. So you can create any, if you have any extra task that you want to create, you can also add here. Okay. Again,
can you just give example of any extra task?
Like for example, for this here, if you want to register, what is another task that you have to work on? If you want to log in, like for example, okay, if you want to register here, if there is some kind of a registration fee that you have to pay, let's assume that can be a
okay,
another task.
Okay.
Okay. And if you want to link any previous issue, if there is any previous issue that you want to link, that also you can link here. Okay. Now, description. Guys, this description is called as an acceptance criteria. You know, whatever you want to add here, whatever you want to add, you can add. Like for example, acceptance criteria, you can add. You can add DOR, you can add DOD. Now I'll just give a simple example. What is this DOR and DOD? Because what is acceptance criteria is, you're just explaining or helping the developer to develop this feature. Now as a customer, I want to log in. Now when the developer has to create this, what kind of fields you want him to put there? Like for example, go to the home page, select the registration button, okay, enter the data in your name, mobile number, all that, and select. So now that you're telling him that there would be an acceptance criteria. When will I accept? When will I say that this user story is completed, or when is this feature completed? That clear understanding is called as a acceptance criteria. Clear so far, guys? Now,
so can we write in acceptance criteria as a delivery boy is able to log in? So can we write that also?
No,
Just
your acceptance criteria is only to support this one, no? How can you say as a delivery boy?
So what will be we be writing acceptance criteria for this particular user story?
You go to your home page, select the registration button, enter the data in name, enter the data in mobile number, enter your location, PIN. What are the steps to register that you will put in the acceptance criteria?
Okay.
Okay. Now, definition of ready. Guys, when can I say that my user story is completed? User story is completed. Okay. Those steps that you will write in the definition of ready. Now, what is definition of done? When can I give this ready feature to the client?
Ma'am, can you please once again start from acceptance criteria? My network was not there, only once.
Acceptance criteria is nothing but a happy path, sir. What you want to say, what are your steps that you want to take here is your acceptance criteria. Okay. Definition of ready would be, when is a user story completed is called as definition of ready, and definition of done is nothing but when you want to give your user story to the client. That stage is called as definition of ready. Like for example, your code is working, your testing is completed, the features are visible, the test those areas are called as definition of. Now come here, guys. Whom do you want to assign this user story to? You want to assign to any person, you want to assign automatically whoever is available, or you want to assign it to me? Okay, whoever you want to assign, you can assign it. And then which sprint? Sprint 1. What is a story point estimate? Guys, story point estimate is nothing but the effort or the number of hours it will take for the developer to work on this feature. And please understand, a story point estimate is always calculated in hours only, never in days, nothing. So let's say 5, which means the developer is saying that to complete this user story it will take 5 hours. Okay.
So
it is also
in
called as
story
complexity points also.
Okay.
Okay, so this
story
is
point and complexity point is same.
This number is generally
And I
given
can
by the
also
developer.
see, I can also see like story point you have written 5. It is also we can also assign -5 also. So what does minus?
What is -5?
No. Actually, I'm just trying to drag it down now. So -1 is also coming in story points.
Then you cannot have -1 because it
Minus,
is saying that you will not need any time at all.
Okay.
It should always be plus, right? Because it's the number of hours that you want to use here.
Ma'am, can we change this story point if the time is lapsed and the project is not completed in that time?
Generally, once you create a user story, we don't edit the user story.
Okay.
If you are saying that user story is not here, you transfer it to another sprint, but generally we don't edit it.
Okay.
Because this number is not given by you or by me. This number is given only by the development team.
Okay. And ma'am, in definition of ready, testing part is completed, right?
Definition of ready is saying that all these issues that you have mentioned here, they're all cleared.
Okay.
So let's assume it is assigned to me. So as a developer, I have done my job. I have done this user story, but can I deliver it to the client? Not yet. Probably you should do something else here. Once I do my work, I will assign it to you.
Okay.
You will do something else to it. And then only my user story is 100% completed. That is when it will go to DOD stage. You agree?
So in delivery of done stage, the deployment will take place.
Where DOD, right?
Yeah.
DOD, it is nothing but a stage where you're saying that the client can have a look at his user story.
Okay.
When will the client be able to look into the user story? When you have done everything is over, testing is over, all our development work is over, the PA job is over, everything is over. Only then the client will be, we are giving it to the client. That stage is called as a DOD.
Okay.
Okay.
Add a child issue is a dependency, ma'am. What is the link issue, ma'am?
If you want to link any external issue, like for example, to do this, there is some issue, then dependency is there.
Okay.
So of another user story, you will link that dependency here.
Okay, and one more doubt in the board, ma'am. In the board, that all the user stories will be fetched automatically, or we have to enter manually.
Where?
Board. Scrum board.
Scrum board, everything you have created, right?
Yeah.
This one, right?
Yeah, this one. We have.
It is automatically pulled from backlog. Directly you came to the board.
Oh.
When you say create a sprint, it will directly come to the board.
Oh, got it.
Okay, so guys, like that you have created this user stories text. Now the team
And
will
who will assign priority like highest, medium, and all? BA
the
only,
Scrum
or
team.
team will.
No, the Scrum team, guys.
team.
There is no BA, no, please. The
Okay.
Scrum team
So
will.
everything will be decided in sprint planning meeting only.
Yes, and it is done by a Scrum team.
Okay.
Not by one individual. Okay.
So BA also in Scrum team, right? BA also called
BA
Scrum
unfortunately is not a part of the Scrum team. BA is a shared resource. Scrum team consists of a Scrum Master, product owner, and developers only.
What is the difference between the product owner and business analyst? Both are same, I think.
No. Product owner is a client guy who has each and every input about the decision on the project. He can take a decision on the project. He is called as a product owner. A business analyst is somebody who works on the requirements, who will do elicitation, who will create these racematics, all that. You cannot take a final decision on the project.
No,
or the product.
Product owner.
Product, that's what I'm saying. On a product, you can't take a decision on the product. Let's assume you say that, madam, I don't want this feature. The product owner can take a decision to remove it or to add it. Because business analyst cannot.
But in some companies, like business analyst is doing the role of product owner.
Business analyst can be a Scrum Master, but not a product owner right away. But as you grow in the ladder, yes, eventually you will become product owner. But BA and a product owner cannot be as one person. Product owner can take up multiple roles. He can be a Scrum Master also because he's the highest. But BA cannot be a product owner.
So, ma'am, I have a doubt here. So, what you have said is these all things are done by the Scrum team, right? The Scrum planning, product backlog, or the sprint, or everything.
Yeah.
So, till in this, we don't have any role as a BA. This all will be done by the Scrum team.
BA is a shared resource. BA is not a part of the core Scrum team, but we are a shared resource. You are there in the Scrum team, but you are not a part of the core Scrum team. You are a shared. So wherein your services are shared between multiple projects. Okay. So when I'm saying that you will take a decision, but you are not a part of the core team. That's it.
Ma'am, could you please explain the difference between project owner and product owner?
Project manager. Project manager is in a waterfall. Product owner is in Agile.
No, I'm asking about the product owner and the project owner.
Project owner. Where does the project owner come from, ma'am?
No, you told just now that
I
the
said product
Scrum
owner
team consists of product
owner.
owner.
Yes.
Okay.
and did not
So
say
who
project.
is the product owner?
Product owner is a client person who will take a decision on your product decisions.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah, guys, get this data there also. Don't worry, it is there in our books also. So, guys, now coming back to my Jira, I have this board here where all my products are in to do. So, whoever has assigned this, the assigned person who is working on the user story will change it like this. Will drag and drop it into in progress. As the work is happening, the user stories will be dragged in this board. Clear? And then you will complete all your user stories in whatever time, 1 week or 2 weeks, whatever is the time, you will complete, and automatically your sprint will be completed. Clear, guys? Any questions? It is completed. Yeah.
Ma'am, where we can find the recording, because I need to see a doctor at
We have
12:30.
recording. We will share it. The team will share it to you, ma'am. I believe. Probably just give a day or two. They will share this recording to you in this coming 2 or 3 days.
Towards by mail or like what? It will be available at library section or
It
what?
should be available in the library. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, what will happen if someone do not complete their story in a respective time?
Then you'll have this discussion in the sprint review meeting where they will ask the associate why he or she was unable to work on his project. Why was he or she unable to do it? Are there any problem? If yes, the sprint is incomplete, then whatever user story is incomplete, they will definitely send it to the next sprint. Sprint 2. They'll add it to the product backlog and then it will be added to the sprint again. Okay. Guys, someone raised a hand.
Connected.
Guys, can you all hear my voice?
Yeah, now we can hear it. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Someone raised the hand, guys.
So once the user story reaches done stage, so after that, what needs to be done?
After your sprint is completed, nothing has to be
So
done.
there is nothing we need to do.
Nothing you
We just leave
done
it
by the tool.
there
Your
only.
sprint is completed. Again, then you start a new sprint. Again, same story will continue.
So can we see anywhere sprint is completed or not?
You will here see, if you look at it, I will show that. See here, you have completed your sprint now, guys. How many sprints that you have completed? You can get it through the report. Let me, guys. What you do is you go to this project settings. There you will go and to features, and here you will activate the project. Okay, guys, then you go back to the project. Now you will
once again, ma'am. Once again, can you please
project settings?
Okay.
Features, reports. Okay, you will see reports here. Select reports. There you can have a burn up report, a burn down report, however you want. You can pull out that report. Let's take a burn up report here. You have completed sprint 1. This is your story points. So the team, this is my sprint goal. This is my date that I had to complete, and this is a proper report. All are completed. These are your update on your completed scope.
Madam, this whole writing down the user stories, the BA has to do that, right?
Not required. The whole team will do it, ma'am. Not just the BA.
Okay.
Ma'am, earlier someone asked that if in the sprint someone has not completed the work within the time, then what is the next step?
You will put that user story to the product backlog, and then it will be added to the sprint. Next sprint.
Oh, okay.
Definitely.
It is also called as sprint backlog.
I'm sorry.
It is also called as sprint backlog, right?
Which one?
No, he's saying the same thing, that if the work is not completed, will that go to the sprint backlog?
No, product backlog. It will go to the product backlog. If the sprint is, if the user story is not completed in a sprint, it will go to the product backlog. Then it will be added to a new sprint.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
And ma'am, what is mean by burn up and burn down?
Burn down chart talks about the completed work. How much of work has been completed in a sprint is a burn down chart. Burn up is remaining work.
Okay, in progress.
Remaining. Like let's assume out of 5 user story did not complete 2. Remaining is 2 user stories, right? That is shown in your burn up chart.
Okay. And velocity report.
Velocity report is nothing but it talks about the time of the resource. Let's assume we have 5 resources, and in the 5 resources you are spending 2 hours. So it talks about how many resources have spent how many hours. That is called as velocity.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Generally, user stories will be done by developer, right?
Which one? Sorry, your voice is breaking.
User stories generally will be written by BA or developer.
What is written?
User stories.
The whole team, sir. I have been telling the same thing. The whole team will write a user story. Why just a BA? The whole team, even a Scrum Master can write, a product owner can write, a BA can write, developers can write, everybody can write.
Then what is the scope of business analysis in Agile methodology?
Business analyst, you will do the elicitation techniques. You will do the RACI matrix. You will use multiple communication tools to discuss this. You will work on the Jira tool. You will also work on the user stories. You will create a user story. You will discuss all this to the client and you will communicate these reports. Everything is done here. But unlike waterfall, you don't have a rigid role here. You are involved in UAT testing.
Okay. It depends upon the company, right?
It will depend, but again, not like as rigid as waterfall.
Oh.
Yes, guys. So, guys, this is how you will start working on your Jira. So, number 1, you'll create a project, then a product backlog, then user stories, then you'll create sprints, and automatically these reports are generated. So, you will show these reports to the client. That is what is a complete Agile project or a Scrum project in Jira.
I am sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Could you go back to board, please?
Yeah.
So, ma'am, this is all about Jira. So it's done.
This is all about Jira. Yes, this is what Jira does. But in reality, you'll have many more user stories. Now I only created 4 or 5, right? In reality, you'll have many more. A lot of activity. You'll also have bugs. You'll also add the testing bugs also. Your testing team will also give you one more Jira account where she or he should create this Jira account and start adding more bugs there also. But from a BA perspective, to create these all, this is where we will do.
So, ma'am, what is our role in that bug thing?
You do UAT testing, right? Just like the way you create test case documents in waterfall, you do testing and you report the bugs here, and you input all the data in Jira. If you do UAT testing, what is your role in UAT testing? You do the testing and you write, is it pass or fail, right? Same thing you do here. Yes, guys, any other questions?
So, ma'am, this software is generally kind of.
Your voice is breaking, ma'am.
Am I audible now?
Yeah.
So, I mean, Jira software is kind of the progress of a project.
No. Jira software is, you can do the whole project in Jira. You can do everything in Jira only. The development, everything again is development server, but again, whatever you do, everything can be done using Jira, not just the progress.
I think the activity is already, is always captured in this, like how far we have come in the project.
Yeah, that is
Not just the progress though, but you actually create also. No, see,
Yeah.
what is activity tracking is you create it somewhere, only track it here. But that is untrue. In Jira, you create and then you view it. And the whole team will start adding their comments, doing everything is using Jira only. For development, you have a development server. For everything else, you have different things. Definitely external sources are there. But the complete Jira, if tomorrow a client wants to come and see what is a project about, who are the resources, what is happening, who created what is a user story, everything you'll get in Jira.
And can we define it as a project management tool or
Yes,
what?
it is a project management tool.
Who will have the access for this? Everyone?
Everyone, the whole Scrum team will have the access.
Okay.
Ma'am, what is alternate to Jira?
We have lot other tools, sir. We have many such tools, Actually, Jira is a very popular one. That's it.
It's nothing but it's a ready-made software, right?
It is.
Okay.
But you have to customize it. All this is there, but you have to customize it.
Yeah, that depends on the requirement what we get.
Yes, you have to customize it. Yes.
So you mean to say that in Jira, everyone will get the status from, whoever is using Jira, they can see the project, right? Everything is there in Jira itself.
Everything is there. You don't have to go anywhere outside for anything.
Besides, they are using Agile Scrum methodology.
Agile Scrum is a methodology, right, ma'am?
Yeah.
Jira is a tool. Agile is a methodology.
Jira is a tool. Yeah.
That
methodology they're using, then only they can use Jira, right? Or else,
yes, if you're using Scrum Agile, then only you'll use Jira. Is a Scrum Agile tool.
Yeah.
Subra.
Ma'am, GitLab is similar.
Yes, we have many such tools such as other than Jira. We have GitLab, many. They're alternates to Jira.
Okay. So why it was asking to go to tools in showing GitLab, no? So why will we have a similar tool in the same this thing? If we have, I mean, if we are working on Jira, then why will we link to GitLab?
That is Atlassian's product. The Atlassian is a company where they have multiple such products. If you want to take GitLab, you can. If you don't like Jira, you can go there.
Part of it?
I'm sorry, your voice is breaking. I'm sorry.
I was asking, is Jira is also a part of Atlantis?
Yes, Atlassian. Yes. Atlassian.
Ma'am, is it necessary to create Epic in?
No, it is optional. Creating Epic is definitely optional.
Okay. What is the role that we are creating?
I'm sorry?
What is the role of we are creating Epic?
What is the purpose that we are creating?
Yeah.
It's only for convenience.
Okay.
Because we have so many team members working here, right? Just for convenience, you're adding more information. That's it.
Okay.
So on board, if you go to the sprint, so after story point estimate, so it's like n number of times. So the developers will automatically get that.
Developers will only give that number to you.
Oh, okay. So we need to get the estimated time from the developer before we.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ma'am, can you create one backlog and show me, please?
We have just created this, ma'am. You can do it as you can. What you can do is after a session, you can listen to this and you can actually create it yourself. Because if seeing will look very easy, but when you do it only, you'll understand.
Because when I'm creating, it's not showing as a user story.
It's an issue, ma'am. You call it as an issue.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
In one line, how can I describe Epic?
Epic is a big chunk of user stories. Big chunk of work. Yeah, I'm sorry.
And sprint is a part of an epic, no?
Sprint is a time-boxed event. Sprint is a time-boxed event that contains user stories for you to work on.
So any idea what kind of question would be asked in the interview about Jira?
You can they'll ask for the navigation. What are those buttons called as? What is a user story called here? How do you assign?
Okay.
How do you drag it back to the product back to the navigation? They'll ask for sure.
Okay. Thank
While
you.
working on the story, if I found any different, then what will I do? Where I will raise that issue?
You have a new issue.
Yes.
You will
While
not
working
raise
on
it
a
here.
story,
You will
I
not.
found dependency.
You will talk to the management.
Then where I
You will
will
not add here.
raise.
No, no. You will not add anything here unless until it is not discussed. You will not add anything directly to Jira. First, offline discussions will happen, meetings will happen. You have daily scrum meeting, all that, right? After that only you will do this. After everything meeting ke baad only you will put in Jira.
And on what basis we will decide the story point?
Story points decide on the effort of the developer. How many hours the developers will take to complete that user story.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Are you audible? You can hear my voice?
Yeah, I am able to. Yes.
Like you said, Epic is chunk of work. Means it have like list of user stories that we need to complete.
Yeah.
Like a product backlog is also same.
Same.
Right?
That is the Epic is optional.
Okay. Like Epic and product backlog are same. I'm asking.
Product backlog is a list, man. Epic is a feature. Registration is an Epic. Product backlog has multiple such features.
Okay. Okay.
Can you elaborate on the navigation, which you said? Question for interview.
Yeah.
Navigate what?
Navigation. How do you come from roadmap to backlog, backlog to board? Board, how can I view reports? How can I change the content? What is it called as a user? So how do I assign? All such questions from the tool can be asked.
Yo, ma'am, able to send us a document that you created right now?
Sorry, your voice is not clear. What is it?
Be that you created right now? Why?
Sorry, still is a problem.
Am I audible now?
Yeah, it is going a little. Guys, I'm sorry. Before I answer your question, guys, anybody who does not have a question can log out, guys, because we have almost done with my explanation. Okay. So if anyone have no questions, please you can log out, and people who have doubts can stay back. Okay. Thank you so much for your time, guys. Have a great Sunday.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Saurabh this side. If I am going to log out this screen, and I means I'm again want to log this Jira software, I can log in with that means
Yes, that username, yes.
Okay, fine.
You can,
Ma'am, here we can see the development and there is code under the development. So what's the purpose of this code? Should we do we need to put the code under the development or what?
No, that is done by a development team. You will not put
But
anything
what's
there.
the purpose behind the code? We need to mention the whole code.
Not you, madam. It will be done by a development team. The code is put by the development team.
So the developer will put the whole code or just the like what we can put under that code. If I'm using Django as my backend, like coding platform.
He will copy that code and paste it there.
Whole code.
Yes.
Okay.
And ma'am, we don't have that report option in our planning section.
You have to go to the features and activate that report option.
From where, ma'am?
You go to the
project setting.
You go where? Wait, let me go there. You go to the project settings.
Setting, then features, then
features, reports.
Ma'am, how will we arrive to a timelines for a sprint actually?
But again, that happens in a meeting, sir. It happens in a sprint planning meeting.
So one says 1 week, another says 2 weeks. So
that is what we have in a meeting. They'll say how many user stories, why 1 week, why 2 weeks, why can't we do it in 1.5 weeks? Why can't that discussion will happen? Then they'll come to one final point.
Okay.
Can you scroll up the document? Which document? The Word document.
Hello, ma'am. Would you be able to send us this document via chats?
It is there. When you look at the recording, you'll get this document also, no? Okay. Can you please scroll down once? Yeah. Ma'am, you'll get this recording in the document there in the recording. Don't copy it again separately. When you listen to what we say, that is when you'll be able to understand all this, guys.
What is the meaning of Jira, ma'am?
Jira is a project management tool.
Project management tool.
Agile project management tool.
Am I audible?
Yeah, there is disturbance.
Ma'am, the same recording would be uploaded in library section.
It should be, ma'am. Most probably, yes, it should be. I'll just check with the team anyways, though. Just give me a second.
Yeah, because if you could request them, there are already recorded versions in library.
They will definitely record it. They'll put it in the library for sure. And they'll also send a status. They'll send it to the library, ma'am. It will be there in the library.
But BI still they did not provide it.
I'm sorry, ma'am.